Day 21, episode 21. Okay, so today's one is a little tough. I would not say this is an easy advice to share, but this is something that people need to be aware of lah. That is, you might not get closure. That's the reality. You might not get closure. So what is closure? Closure is basically if two person argue, hopefully there's closure. They either, make up and be friends again, or they part ways and say that, okay, this is where we end, and then both side goodbye. It could be like that. It could be situations where you're supposed to have an ending, the ending never came, you had to fight for it, and eventually there is a way to settle that ending, whether someone pays more or someone gets the job done, and that's the closure lah. So it's basically an ending. A closure is basically an ending. What we learn, right, in real life, sometimes you will never get a closure. Maybe someone will never say they're sorry, or somehow the person you want closure from goes away, runs away, never comes back. It could be a business or a debt that you're supposed to get closure for, and the person disappears. You stay in debt, or the person still owes you money and can't find that person anymore. Not having closure is really a thorn on the side lah. Okay, it will really, really bite, and it will really, really hurt. It will really, really very disappointing. But it's really one of those things that you have to realize. Not getting a closure sometimes is not in your control. Not getting a closure means you have to learn to move on. Not easy. Sucks to tell the truth. Not everybody gets a happy ending, okay? But you must realize is that you sometimes in life just will not get closure because people will not give it to you, or the circumstances just will not allow it, or because you and the other person just refuse to communicate with each other. So this is not so much of, this is more of like a wake-up call to reality lah. Is to notice, is to understand is that sometimes life is just not all the time bright and beautiful. There are things that will happen that will leave every party unsatisfied, and the only thing to do is to learn to live with it, to learn to move on. You sometimes just do not get closure. Easier said than done. Again, very hard. Sometimes people never really heal from it, but do understand is that you also don't want this non-closure thing or this unsatisfactory to be the only thing that stays with you for the rest of your life, because eventually we need to learn to move on. We need to learn to continue living, and I think that that's something that is a reminder for myself and reminder for all of you, that sometimes life isn't fair, that sometimes you just will not get closure, and sometimes you just got to learn to live with it and move on. See you guys tomorrow. Bye.